Hi, Delaware Democratic Senator Chris Coons walking back comments he made last week suggesting the FBI has evidence of Donald Trump's ties to Russia.
There are transcripts that provide very helpful, very critical insights into whether or not Russian intelligence and senior Russian political leaders, including Vladimir Putin, were cooperating, were colluding with the Trump campaign at the highest levels to influence the outcome of our election. To the extent those comments that you just replayed might in some way be misinterpreted as leading to a sort of hyperventilating attitude here in the Senate about this, I apologize for that. That's not what I was trying to do.
So where does the investigation go from here? Senator Chris Coons is going to be in the middle of that. He joins us right now. Senator, always great to see you.
Thanks, Brian. Good to be on with you.
All right, first off, Senator, what can you tell us new about the investigation 2 days in?
Well, first, this week, the Senate Intelligence Committee is getting access to the raw intelligence and transcripts of those intercepts that I was referring to last Friday. And if you just listen closely to the clip you just played, it makes clear what I was saying, that there is intelligence that will provide insights into whether or not there was some collusion between senior elements of the Trump campaign and the Trump administration and Russian intelligence and Russian officials. What I was trying to point to there, Brian, was that we need to get to the bottom of this. This isn't about partisan politics. It's about defending our democracy. We had a hearing yesterday on the State and Foreign Ops Subcommittee of APROPS, a subcommittee that's critically responsible for our support for our NATO allies and democracy in Western Europe. And we're going to have a joint Republican and Democrat speech on the floor later today about the importance of pushing back against Russian aggression.
I know you get sophisticated intelligence as opposed to watching Meet the Press, but on Meet the Press, the former National Intelligence Director said he saw when he left office January 20th, no collusion between the Trump camp and Russia.
Well, that's one person's perspective, and that's an important insight. What I was saying on Friday and what I'll say again today is that we need to get to the bottom of this. We need a thorough, fair, straightforward investigation where we get a report back in Congress about what Republicans and Democrats on the Intelligence Committee have found after they've had a chance to review all the evidence.
Senator Tom Cotton, your colleague, Republican side, said this.
The main consumer of intelligence from the intelligence services is the White House and specifically the National Security Council. So you have many partisan Democrats who are receiving this information, and I think there's a good chance that you might want to look to some of those partisan Democrats who left office on January 20th and are now being identified as former U.S. officials if you want to know where some of these leaks are coming from.
And a lot of that goes back to what the president tweeted out roughly on Saturday. And what Robbie Mook told us yesterday, former campaign manager with Hillary Clinton, that they were hearing about intercepts and reading transcripts between members of the Trump camp as well as Russian officials to some level.
Well, I think it's inaccurate to say that the National Security Council is filled with partisans. I think the National Security Council has proven itself over several administrations to be overwhelmingly full of career professionals who are providing the best support and analysis they can to the president. I also would just point out there are several different sources of intelligence, the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, and several others. And one of the things that's undeniable here, Brian, is that the entire American intelligence community concluded that Russia did interfere in our last election. And I think it's in the best interest of our democracy to make sure that we take this seriously and that we take prompt action on a bipartisan basis against that intrusion into our election.
And if you sense that Democrats are making this a partisan effort or an attack on Trump, will you come back on every outlet and say so?
If I think this has turned into nothing more than a witch hunt and there's no basis in reality for it, that is the position I take. Brian, you know me.
Yep.
But I also think there shouldn't be a cover-up. In the best interest of our country, we need to get to the bottom of this. That's why I was encouraged yesterday that the man who's the nominee to be number 2 in the Justice Department, who now that Attorney General Sessions has recused himself, will take over the direction of this, did say that he will insist on a free and fair investigation.
And his track record reflects just that. Senator Coons, thanks so much.
Thank you, Brian.
Meanwhile, straight ahead, you know, as